Welcome back. This week, paleontology. What is paleontology? Who knows? Do you know? What does that word mean? Well, paleontology is a branch of science, just like geology or astronomy or biology. It's a type of science. And paleontology means the study of ancient life. Paleo means ancient. Ology means the study of. Paleontologists are scientists. They're people who dig up and study fossils. What's a fossil? A fossil, well, fossil is a part of an ancient living creature or thing which has been preserved in stone. And paleontologists, they study fossils to learn more about these ancient creatures that lived on our planet. You can learn a lot by just looking at the remains that are left from very old creatures and turned to stone. Creatures like Orthoceras, crinoids, armored fish, or trilobites. All of these ancient creatures that lived in very, very ancient seas on the earth. Or creatures like Eurypterids, in other words, giant sea scorpions. There was all sorts of cool, incredible creatures that lived in ancient Paleozoic oceans. Here's an actual fossil of a Eurypterid. This is a Megalograptus. He had huge grabbing pinchers. Or creatures like the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were incredible. And all we know about them is simply from studying the fossils that people have dug up and put together. Dinosaurs. What were dinosaurs, really? Well, dinosaurs were incredible. They were majestic. They were terrifying. Dinosaurs were a group of extinct reptiles which included the very largest land animals ever to walk on the earth. And they lived a very, very long time ago. We'll talk about what this word extinct means in a little bit. Let's talk about how long ago this really is. The world has existed for a very long time. And ancient life looked quite different from the plants and animals that we see today. This time is so long that it's hard to even understand. So let me try and help you understand how old the Earth really is. So, from what scientists have found, from the evidence they've found, they believe that the Earth was formed initially around 4.5 billion years ago. Okay, and formed from space rocks and asteroids and minerals colliding and collecting and kind of turning into a planet at the beginnings of our solar system. And over billions and billions of years, for the longest time, there was almost nothing going on the Earth. It was more or less barren, with all strange oceans crashing and with volcanoes erupting, and no plants or anything on any of the land. All there was bacteria or single-celled organisms for billions and billions of years, all the way up until suddenly about 500 million years ago. Okay, so for the most of the time it was just bacteria in the ocean. And then 500 million years ago, suddenly we reach the Cambrian period, where suddenly it was like an explosion of all sorts of new, incredible creatures and life, like those Eurypterids, the giant sea scorpions, or the Orthoceras, and all sorts of other creatures started to evolve. Big multicellular organisms, plants began to grow on land, and all sorts of creatures began to evolve. Then we reach the Mesozoic. This is the age of the dinosaurs. and then the Cenozoic. Now, this is a very, very long time that all this has happened. All the time, this is geologic time. Time long enough for rocks to form, for continents to move. Now, finally, right here at the end, this is 10,000 years, this Holocene epoch right here. People and societies that we've built, everything that we see in our cities and houses and everything we see today only appeared right at the very edge of this time scale. We are right on the razor's edge right here. Okay? And maybe right back here, that was like when the pyramids were built. And now we're right here. So this is a very long time. This period right here is where life formed. And it's broken down into more segments. Let's look at these a little closer. And here are the three main eras of ancient life here. The oldest one is the Paleozoic, which means ancient life. This was when trilobites and the giant sea scorpions and all sorts of armored fish lived. Suddenly, there was a gigantic extinction right here. And we've got a new era, the Mesozoic, which means middle life. This is when dinosaurs came about. Right here, there was another massive extinction, big dying off event. And then we have the Cenozoic, which means new life. That's the age that we live in. Now, since I just told you all of that, what's wrong with this picture? Do you know? Oh, I hope so, because people should not be in this picture. People and dinosaurs never lived at the same time. People and dinosaurs lived so far apart from each other that this is completely impossible. And this is just a painting from a fictional book that I like called Dinotopia. So of course it's not real, because of course people lived here. But 65 million years ago, that was the last dinosaur. So people and dinosaurs do not live at all in the same time. Anyways, let's try to remember these different ages of ancient life better by listening to one of my favorite songs. A song about the Mesozoic. And I used to watch it on an old video, a VHS tape, like this.
Turn off that music and go to bed.
Give me your Mesozoic mind, oh Mesozoic mind. Last night I had a crazy dream. I fell out of my bed. I missed the floor entirely and fell through time instead. Through yesterday and history and unrecorded time, 100 million years flew by to Mesozoic times. The earth was full of animals, they all were very strange. The dinosaurs were everywhere, and every shape and size. They walked the plains and mountains, they even filled the skies. Give me a Mesozoic mind, bring me away from all mankind. You can keep your Cenozoic, but I'll take that Mesozoic. Give me a Mesozoic mind. Mesozoic. Mesozoic. Our Paleosaurus plodded past as tall as any tree, and pterosaur flew through the air, and monsters filled the sea. Our mighty Stegosaurus clad with armor Diplodocus took just one step and made the forest shake. I did not want my dream to end. I didn't want to wait. Give me a Mesozoic mind. Teach me to learn from what I find. You can keep your Cenozoic, but I'll take that Mesozoic. Give me a Mesozoic mind. Mesozoic. 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 Mesozoic.
Let's go back to that word I was going to bring up again from before. What does extinct mean? When a creature is extinct, what does that actually mean? Well, extinct means when all members of a certain group die. So, dinosaurs are extinct. Scientists noticed certain points in the fossil record where huge numbers of creatures died. Like I was talking about here, there was a massive extinction. And here too, all sorts of creatures died and then their fossils disappeared. Well, the dinosaurs are extinct. And 65 million years ago, something killed the dinosaurs. And for a long time, paleontologists and scientists had a very hard time understanding why. Why did the dinosaurs die? It was a mystery. Scientists thought maybe could it have been volcanoes erupting all around the world, and maybe the volcanoes changed the atmosphere, caused the earth to heat up. Maybe that killed the dinosaurs. Maybe it was a famine. Maybe the volcanoes blocked out the sun and it caused all the plants to die. Since all the plants eating dinosaurs didn't have anything to eat, then they died, and then the meat-eating dinosaurs died. Or maybe it was something else. Maybe it was a virus. Maybe it was a disease that killed off all the dinosaurs. The point was, for a long time, scientists didn't know what it was that wiped out all of these incredibly huge creatures, until they found something, a key clue: iridium. Scientists found a layer of rare radioactive metal deposited right at the layer where the dinosaurs' fossils disappeared. And this rare radioactive metal is really found commonly only in one place, and that's in asteroids in space. So, scientists came up with a theory that it was an asteroid that came hurtling toward the Earth at incredible speeds and smashed into the Earth. And this incredible shock would have caused all sorts of havoc. It would have instantly vaporized any dinosaurs that were nearby, within probably several hundred miles even. But then it would have shot pieces thousands and thousands of miles, and rock would have shot all the way back up into space, and then come raining down all across the globe in tiny little meteorites called microtectites. Dinosaurs would have been running for their lives. They would have been terrified. They would have been trying to escape and hide, but it would have heated up the atmosphere. Scientists believe it would have caused worldwide wildfires all around the world, almost all at once. And it would have blacked out the sky with all the dust and all the tiny meteorites coming down. And scientists were looking for a crater that could have caused this giant meteor. Could have been created from a meteor this large. They were looking for a long time, and finally they found one in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. All the large creatures at this time would have been wiped out, and the dinosaurs that were near the explosion would have been instantly vaporized. But for other dinosaurs all around the planet, it would have been a much slower, terrifying demise. As all the plants were burned up, they would not have any food left. If they were able to survive the heat of the initial blast, they would have slowly, simply starved to death. And eventually, the skies would have cleared, and all the dinosaurs died. But that left room for the small creatures that were able to hide in tiny tunnels. And because the dinosaurs died off, it allowed mammals to start to reproduce and take over the planet. And that's where we came from. It was these first mammals that survived. So thanks to the dinosaurs dying, that's why we can be alive right now. But wait, Mr. K, what if some of the dinosaurs actually did survive? What if, like, they were able to hide like the mammals, and what if they were still alive today? Well, guess what? Some of them actually did survive. A few of them, and their descendants are still living with us today. But I'll talk more about that maybe next time. I hope you enjoyed my story about how the dinosaurs died off, and I hope you learned a few new things, like maybe some new words like paleontology, or fossils, or Mesozoic, or extinct. For the rest of the lesson, you can kind of respond any way that you like. But for example, if you have a favorite dinosaur, you can draw a picture of it if you like and label it. But if you really kind of don't have a favorite dinosaur, you can find one you like and do that. You can also go to my website, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute again. And you can explore some of the dinosaur links that I have for each of the grades. To get to my website, you can go up to the top and click on a new tab, and you can search in Google for Markham, M-A-R-K-H-A-M, Wix, W-I-X. And you can press enter. The first result is my website. So you can check out these dinosaur links I've got on each of the grades. For example, there's some really cool paleontology games here, specifically Layers of Time, right here. So I suggest you try this game. You can scroll down. It's got some silly music. Click start, and you can try to organize layers of rock into their correct order. Now, paleontologists use fossils to basically help them determine how old certain rocks are. It has you organize which fossils are oldest. It gives you a hint for the first one, oldest layer. I know trilobites are really old, and when an animal goes extinct, its fossils disappear from the geologic history. Now, sometimes in geology, rock layers get moved, they get kind of mixed up, and the sedimentary layers can shift and even erode back again and be lost, or simply just completely be missing. To help paleontologists organize and understand which layer of rock is oldest, they can compare fossils across the world. And so I'm trying to get these fossils to be in what I think is the right order. So it looks like that this Proterosaurus came at the same time as the trilobites. So I know this fossil that also has ichthyosaurs in the layer would have to be right after it, because it can't be like this. That would mean they went extinct and then they're back somehow, magically. Science doesn't work on magic, it works on facts. So Proterosaurus died off, and then new fossils appeared. I think this is correct here. And I'm right. So I suggest you try to play the hard level. Try to beat the hard level, and then take a screenshot of it, right? By pushing the 3 buttons and do a selected screenshot of you winning. You can also respond just by finding a picture of what would be whatever your favorite dinosaur is. So for example, my favorite dinosaur is Baryonyx. I think he's pretty cool. A good way to find a good picture is you can click on Google's images and then click Tools and go to Size, and you can go to Large. And usually the large images are pretty excellent. So I really think baryonics is cool, and if I want to take a selected screenshot, I can push those 3 buttons and draw a selection box around the screenshot and copy it and paste it in Seesaw. I would love it if you labeled your picture. You can also respond all sorts of other ways. For example, you could talk to me about what you learned in the lesson. You could draw a picture, like I was saying, of your favorite dinosaur and label it. Please do pictures of real dinosaurs. I don't want to see any Indoraptors or fictional dinosaurs. Or, you could do something else besides a dinosaur, of course, like another extinct creature, like an extinct mammal, or something from the Paleozoic, of course. That's how I want you to respond. Pretty open-ended. There's lots of different ways. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll see you next time.